There are 3 key principles when deciding on a studio space. Ceiling height. You might think, it's all about floor space, but it's not. The ceiling height is where the cool kids are. Good ceiling height means more wall space, and more wall space means more floor space. Wheels. Think wheels. Always wheels. And number 3, this. Noise. The last studio was like bad. This studio is better, a lot better, but not great. Can you hear that?
You're right.
But with these 3 key principles in the forefront, you can't go wrong picking a studio space. I just want to start this video by saying, for the first time ever in this channel's history, I will not be scripting this video. This video is not scripted. So if it is shit, let me know in the comments. Another thing I want to cover before we get started, I'm not that happy about this. It says Vans on my t-shirt. What is Vans? Look, it says Vans on my t-shirt. Vans. She doesn't get it. They want to be in the video, they gotta pay. Yeah, that's better. Who's the idiot now? Huh? Yeah. Okay, so the very first thing that me and Dave did in this space was design and plan exactly what we wanted it to be. All of these shelves are custom made. This worktop here, custom made. Sounds like I'm saying custard. Every detail in this space is custom made, fully thought out. Actually, the mess that this is right now, this is all gonna change way before even starting the work. Into scripted. This kind of thing. So we've got, not like this video. That's why you script videos, Sam, because that was a shit joke. Everything was fully thought out and planned to make the best use possible of every inch of this space. Okay, so one of the most central parts of this studio is the overhead rig and workstation. The idea of this is that the workstation is central to my side of the studio and Dave's side. Dave's gone for a more minimalist approach. He's like smart, cool and I don't know. He's the cool guy. Oh! You see these 2 things? Movable. You can slide them around easy. And this baby ain't breaking. Although, bending quite a lot. See, this is really great because what I'll do is I'll always have one of these swingy magic arm things. Always rigged like this so that at a moment's notice I can just pop a camera on there and do your top down. Easy. Everything is about being easy. Easy, accessible, limited friction. Frictionless. That is what this space is all designed for. A frictionless process. Remember those words. Getting very hunchy. That's better. And a lot of that frictionless process is about it being easy to light yourself from lots of different angles and lots of different places frictionlessly. Let me show you what it looks like when it's just the lighting that they provide. That's what it would look like if you did nothing with your lights. Most of the lighting in here is controlled by this iPad. Any aperture lighting, basically. Do you hear that? That's what I was, yeah. Because if you don't have a frictionless space, it's gonna make filming really difficult. So say I wanna move to the camera to over here and do an angle like this. I need a key light here, really, don't I? Because that looks flat and dull. And usually what I try and do is just maybe spin this round. It's popping a bit more. I could still do with a key light here. Maybe I'll just move back a little bit. There we go, that's better. Turn this one up. And there you go, that's something that I can kind of accept. And that has to be easy, you know? I do a whole lighting lesson on you know where. If you don't know what that is, you need to watch more of my videos. So I talk about it a lot. I've always thought that like the feng shui of a room, if that's the right word, is like better when things are on the wall, and it's kind of like a case of like lifting everything, you know? If you have a lot of things on the floor, it's like feels like negative and like slump-like, you know? Whereas by putting things on the wall, the room will feel lifted and you'll have more floor space, which feels nice. Like, look at this, right? Even these, they were designed so that you can like easily hoover underneath, and look, there's nothing on the floor. Okay, so should we look at some different areas in this studio? First up, we got the cable wall. So this is like a customizable pegboard, and I actually spray painted this white so that the cables will contrast it, which just makes it easier to see what you've got. I try and keep these cables grouped and like color coded, whether it's USB, or like an audio cable, power, Ethernet, that kind of thing. It works, but it's, you know, depends if Dave's been around. Dave likes his cable wall. You see these card pieces here? So these, again, look, lifted from the ground. I've just put them on this little ledge here and use this bungee cord to hold them up. I do generally keep any clothes that I'm using in this area, but I've always found materials look bad on camera. The same goes for plastic bags. So yeah, I try and keep them out of frame. This wall in particular comprises of a lot of stuff. But maybe one of the main things to know is that things that I use often are more hand accessible, and things that I don't use very often, I would need to get a ladder for. Things that I might use often are easy to access. Things that I don't use often, like the paints and the polyfiller, that's the kind of thing I want to have out of the way, and so I'll need a ladder to access them, which is fine because it's a rare occasion. I wrote this reminder to myself when I was like 10, put it on the kitchen door. It still applies today. Okay, so this is where I put my like everyday camera kit. I don't know if this is worth it. Oh. Lenses, cameras, charging, random like rigging bits, and drone. Yeah, this area needs a bit of a sort out. It's not the most tidy. This was actually the first camera I ever had. Well, the first proper like DSLR camera. This is the first one that I did like paid work on. The Canon 60D. Solid 720p. Actually, I can't remember. It might have done 1080. This wall unit, again, is completely custom made. Made in my dad's workshop. Thank you, Dad, for helping me with that. It's essentially just pieces of plywood that's to kind of slot together. It's harder to make than it looks, and you probably do need a workshop of some kind or some decent toolage. There's nothing worse than doing a load of filming and then realizing you've got something stuck in your teeth, or you've got a big spot on your face. And so I use this mirror to check that before I start filming. Cleaning. I'd say actually this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing areas, because I don't know what it is, but I like it when like brooms and hoovers and stuff don't touch the floor. I know that's probably a me thing, but can you imagine, I'm sorry, but this is, shit, I've just noticed something. I mean, they're not gonna, but, okay, so in this area we've got hoover. Okay, so in this area, I look like a, again, frictionless hoover. Always charging, always on the wall, easy to take off. And also, never hoover up the fire extinguisher dust.
Yeah, okay.
I learned that the hard way. What did you do? Okay, so with this next bit, we've got our like food and drinks section, which doesn't get a lot of attention. The fruit bowl is full of crisps. I actually have a serious crisps problem, and someone out there has got to help. I feel like I've eaten a packet of crisps every day for like 10 years. And I thought that was normal. I thought everyone did that at lunchtime. But this is the floating bin. I'd love it if this was against a wall, but there's no wall space for it, so it kind of just chills around here. We put no food waste of any kind in this bin because it smells really bad in the morning. That's a message for Lottie. So this is our tools area where we hang up the most used tools so that they're easily accessible. And also I made this with my dad, this tape rack. The important thing about this is that when it's laid out like this, you can pick up any one without disturbing another one, you know, whereas if they were stacked, you can't pick the bottom one up without moving all the others. So this is the best way to lay out tape, I think. This shouldn't be here. I don't know what this is. It's like a toilet roll, but I think Dave uses it to snoot light down. Dave likes to make things out of things. More on that a bit later. Next up, the stands. And also the paper at the top. Ta-da! So on the lower levels, we've got like the light stands, easy to grab, more frequently used. And then as we work up, we've got C stands, other kind of stands. There's a boom here. Do you know what? I did actually forget to talk about this, but we've got an overhead area over there, which has got like all the light boxes, Manfrotto green screen pop-up thing, all the soft bagged things. And we need the ladder for that. And then right at the top, rarely used hardwood blanket holder. And it'll just stop any sound from bouncing around the room so much. And how could I forget the colored backdrop, which we love. I tuck the pulley things away like that. And then whenever you need one, all you gotta do, frictionless. I should just call this video frictionless. No one will click on it, just like my last video. This is a PlayStation 3 from, I think it came out in 2006. Me, Dave, and our friend Perkins, that's his second name, not his first name. That's what we call him. Every 4 to 6 months, we'll play a Call of Duty LAN party in here, which...
No!
I definitely wouldn't want to say who's winning in the scoreboards, or who's the best out of the three of us.
Let's go, baby!
Next up, we got the NAS drive. That thing has got a bunch of like 8 and 10 terabyte drives in and is rated. So 2 drives can fall. So 2 drives can fail and all the data is still fine. It's got like everything on it and it's really full. I need another one. Remember guys, make sure your data management is good. This is a backup battery for the NAS. So just in case the power goes out, the NAS doesn't shut down. I don't think it's not plugged in. So it doesn't actually do anything. My old computer, haven't turned it on in 2 years. Need to sell it. And this is my desk area. So my main computer actually is this MacBook. And I take it from, because I work at home, I work in the studio. So I just put it in my bag and take it between. But what I've done is using like a super fast Thunderbolt cable, I've got it set up in a way where I can connect my laptop into a box which basically connects to everything, like the monitor, the Ethernet, what else? Like the audio interface, my printer for shipping stuff at samdawson.co.uk/shop, the webcam, the monitor. That's obviously really important because, again, making it easy is everything. I've also got all my cabling kind of displayed so I can see where everything's going. That, again, you might think is like a how it looks thing, but it's not. It's just like really functional. So if you look at this network switch, it's so easy like using it, seeing where things are going, just following the cable. Yes, I need to tidy it up a little bit. I also label my plugs so that I can just see what each thing is. This bar is super useful. I rig this Amaranth 24C tube light, which again is connected to the system from earlier. That's really useful for like the webcam, or if I'm shooting this way, I've got a nice bit of daylight on my face. And this one is a much cheaper, like Chinese knockoff kind of LED panel. And so as we move up, this is like more something like a nice visual thing, something to look at, memorabilia, props I've used, stuff like that. This kind of is less functional and a bit more just something to put on the wall that looks kind of cool for the background of the videos. Do we remember that? That did not go to plan. Obviously it's really like not essential, but I just wanted to put these sound panels in. It costs like, they're maybe like £100 each or something. It just helps with sound bouncing around. But again, not essential. I mean, none of this is essential. Let's be honest about all that. What's next? Ooh, screens. These monitors are actually quite essential. Got it, so this cable, if this is plugged into the camera, it goes into this box, which should be stuck to the wall, but it keeps coming off. Okay. And see what happens here is the feed comes in and then it splits into these two monitors. And for the love of, if you're gonna get one of these arm thingies, get one that has full 360-degree rotation. The number of times you're setting up a shot and like, you know, the camera is maybe, you know, facing down and it thinks it's the other way and it's not, and you can't get the image around and you're like that, and it's really annoying. 360. This bad boy is a Herman Miller chair. They are like it's quite an expensive type of chair. German engineering. These chairs actually retail at like thousands of pounds, but I got it secondhand for £500 off Gumtree. And that was 5 years ago, and it's still great. You don't want to see Dave's chair. His back has got to be worse than mine, and that's saying something because mine's... I noticed I was getting really bad hand cramps on the Apple mouse. I just don't think it was designed for that intensity, you know? This one is much better. It really wraps around your whole hand. You can kind of rest it like that and move around. It fits the curvature of your hand more. Zero hand ache with this. I am going to put links to everything in the description below. Everything that I've talked about. Yeah. Which, how can we not talk about this? The LG widescreen. I don't know what model it's called, but looks good. I noticed when I had two monitors, I would like, the neck movement was quite a lot. And doing that hundreds of times in the day was kind of annoying. So having the one, you can kind of, you know, the neck movement is smaller. And let's be honest, this just looks cooler, doesn't it? There is a lot of plug sockets in this room. Naughty, naughty Dave. I actually really like this type of extension cable. These ones actually screw directly into the wall. They have little screws inside of them, but you cover them with these little plastic things here, which means they're solid on the wall. They're not coming off. Unlike these ones, which really, look, I mean. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much it. Studio tour finished. I hope that was interesting. The, yeah, sorry to finish on extension cables. I don't know if that's. Dave's in now. Dave's at his desk being quiet.
I am in.
Do you want to come over?
Yeah.
You want to come over?
Yeah.
Come on over. Okay.
So what's happening?
Well, I was just saying, because I was doing the studio tour, I thought maybe, I know, this, yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of monitors going on.
Ooh, screens. I thought, you know, because you're a big part of this.
Yeah.
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 Did all the stuff. I just thought we'd bring Dave in on it, you know. Is there anything you'd like to say about the studio space?
Studio space. In particular, definitely what we've done next door has been the biggest. Yeah.
That's not even this video.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Oh no!
But
Right, we'll rewind.
But yeah, Dave's working on something else at the moment, which is quite exciting, and probably for another video. But it's really cool, and there'll be stuff on that soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Thanks, mate.
Good.
That was good. Okay, so just as a little side note, guys, I'm going to be doing a members-only live stream. I'm going to try and do them after each video, mainly just for practice. I feel like I know I've been doing the podcast stuff, and that's been really fun, and I feel like good with that now, and I want to get more into live streaming, doing it live, because I feel like that's exciting. I'll tell you a funny story, right? The other day I was taking out the bins, but I'm a little nervous to do it on the channel, so I'm gonna do it for members for a bit first, and then see how we go with that. Build up a bit of confidence. Cool. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, you know where to go. All right, guys, have a good Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year. bye.